Ravi, tell him there's nothing left in the kitchen, called Rukumani, and he is not to come again. Tell him that. She sounded fed up. Ravi didn't have to repeat it all to the beggar. What his mother said had been easy for them all to hear. There under the neem tree. The beggar sat up and sighed. I'll go, he said wearily. Only let me have a rest under this tree. The sun is so hot. The tar has melted on the road. My feet are already blistered. He stretched out his feet to show large pink peeling blisters on the soles of his bare feet. I suppose he doesn't have the money to buy chappals, Mridu whispered to Meena Ravi. Have you got an old pair in the house somewhere? I don't know, said Ravi. Mine are too small to fit his feet, or I'd have given them to him. And his feet were larger than Mridu's and Meena's. The beggar was shaking out his upper cloth and tightening his dhoti. He raised his eyes and looked fearfully at the road, gleaming in the afternoon heat. Rukumani told Ravi that there was nothing left in the kitchen and to ask the beggar not to come again. It sounded as she really got fed up with the beggar. Ravi didn't have to repeat anything to the beggar what his mother said, as her voice was so loud that the beggar could easily hear. The beggar told them that he would leave after taking a little rest. It was too hot outside and there were blisters in his feet. He had shown the blisters on the soles of his bare feet. Mridu whispered to Meena and Ravi that the beggar had no money to buy chappals and inquired them if there was an old pair of chappals in the house. Ravi told he didn't have any idea about that and his chappals were too small to fit his feet or else he would have given them to him. The beggar looked fearfully at the road which was shining in the afternoon heat. He needs something on his feet, Meena said, her big eyes filling. It's not fair. Shh, said Ravi. I am thinking about it. Blubbering, it's not fair, isn't going to help. In 2 minutes he will be frying his feet on that road. What he needs is a pair of chappals. So where do we get them? Come, let's search the house. He pushed Mridu and Meena into the house. Just as she stepped into the veranda, Mridu's eyes fell on the odd-looking chappals she had noticed when she arrived. Ravi, she whispered to him. Whose are those? Ravi turned and glanced at the shabby-looking but sturdy old slippers. He beamed and nodded. These are just the right size, he said, picking them up. Mridu and Meena followed him nervously back into the garden. Here, said Ravi to the beggar, dropping the slippers in front of the old man. Wear these and don't come back. The beggar stared at the slippers, hurriedly flung his towel over his shoulders, pushed his feet into them and left muttering a blessing to the children. In a minute he had vanished around the corner of the street. Meena said it was not fair to send him like that. He needed something on his feet. The children were in pain and started searching for chappals. Mridu found an old-looking chappals which she noticed when she had entered the house. She asked Ravi whose chappals those were. Ravi saw the chappals and felt those were of the right size. He picked them up and Meena and Mridu followed him. Ravi dropped the slippers in front of the beggar and told him to wear and go and not to come again. The beggar wore the chappals and went away blessing the children. Soon he disappeared near the corner of the street.